Hi, friends. One of the things I like to do on this app is watch creators who tell people's personal experiences with ghost stories and odd and spooky kind of things. And it's got me thinking about different experiences in my own life. I wanted to share a story that happened to my family when I was like 14, 13, 14, somewhere in that age bracket. We used to go camping for our vacations, and we lived in the San Francisco Bay Area. One of the places we liked to go camping was up at Humboldt Redwood State Park. It was a beautiful park, redwoods, and just a nice area in Northern California. And this one summer, my grandfather, my mother's father, had a stroke, and he was not doing well. We had gone out to see him the summer before and spent some time with him and my grandmother. He was in the hospital, and he just wasn't doing real well. But he was in his 70s, and he had served in World War I, and he was an older man. So this summer, we went on our regular annual camping trip, and my mother had this feeling that maybe she should call and check on him. And because we'd been gone for a while camping, and she called, went to a payphone and called, and found out that her father had died and the funeral had already taken place. He'd been buried that afternoon that she called. And she was devastated. She wasn't able to be there for his funeral because we were out on vacation. They had requested the Highway Patrol try to find us, but we were tucked away in this state park. There was no way they could have found us. So she was very upset, and we left a little general store and went back to our campsite, and we were trying to console her, and she decided to go ahead and make dinner, keep herself occupied. And as we were sitting there and we were all talking and helping with making dinner and blah, 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 a park ranger came along. And he came up and said he was just checking on people who were in the park camping, wanted to see how we were doing. And so we sat down, and he sat down at the table with us, and we were all just chatting away. And he asked us if we liked to go hiking. And we all said, yes, we loved hiking. And he said, well, there's this one path. It's a new path. He told us where to find it. He said it's like a fairyland in there. It's all these ferns and lush forested area, and there's a freshly laid path. And he said it's kind of like a keyhole path. You take this this path up, and there's a circle. And he said there at where the straight line meets the circle path, there is some benches, and you can sit and rest, and then go on if you want to. But it's very nice. So he drew us a little map how to get to it, and we thanked him. And a couple days later, we decided to go do that. And we went in there, and he was right. There was absolutely no one there. So, but he told us it was a newly created path. So I guess a lot of people didn't know about it yet because it was not on the regular map. He had to draw it for us. So we went in there, and we walked along. It was fresh wood chips were marking the path, and it was gorgeous, filtered sunlight and beautiful lush foliage and these tall, stately redwoods. We got to the end of the first path, and there were benches there, and my mother said she would like to sit there and have some time alone to process her grief and her feelings about her father. So my dad, my sister, and I went around on the circle, and it was quite a long walk. But we all remembered as we were walking on this path that we all had a very strong feeling not to get off the wood chips. It felt like there was something outside of that path. We didn't know what it was, but my father mentioned it. My sister and I both agreed with him. We felt there was something off, but we didn't know what it was. And so we were very careful. But as we kept going, it kept getting more and more this anxious feeling. So we finally hurried and got back to my mother. Now, it felt like we'd only been gone a few minutes, but to her, she said that we had given her a good solid hour by herself. It wasn't an hour to us. It was just like maybe 10, 15 minutes. It was a long path, but it wasn't that long. And when we did get back to her, she was feeling much better, and she felt like she'd come to peace. She felt like she'd felt her father's spirit there with her, comforting her, and everything was much better. So the next year, we went back again to do our camping trip, and we had remembered that. We had even taken pictures when we were in there because it was so beautiful. And we decided, hey, let's go on that path again, because that was so much fun. And we went to where it was, and there was no path. It was gone. And we searched. We thought, well, maybe we missed where it was. So we went back to the ranger station. And the ranger had given my parents his name, and I don't remember it at this point. And one of the things he told us was that he was a school teacher, and that in the summers, when he was off for those 3 months, he worked as a park ranger in Humboldt. So we went to the ranger office, and my parents told them, hey, Ranger Smith say, is he here this year? And they said, we don't have a Ranger Smith. And they told them the story about how he'd come and how he was a teacher in the school year and a park ranger in the summertime. And he had told us about this path, and we couldn't find it. And they said, we don't have a path like that. We do not have a Ranger Smith. We have never had a Ranger Smith who's a school teacher who works here summers. We think probably somebody fooled you. But we did. That man did come to our campsite and talk to us. He did tell us about the path. We went on the path. And like I said, we even took pictures. I still have those pictures. When my parents passed, I got the photo album from that summer, and I have those pictures. I don't know what it was. What do you think it was? But it was very strange. It was just a strange experience. It was a good experience overall, but it was strange. Who do you think Ranger Smith was?